Hi guys. Say hi, John.
Hi, John.
So, travel day back. I don't know if you can hear me, it's kind of loud in here. Travel day back from New York. We left this morning. We got up at the ripe hour of 5 a.m. Our flight was at 8. We had an hour and a half flight to Charlotte. And now our connecting flight is delayed 5 hours. So, what time is it right now? I don't have a watch. 10:35, and our flight leaves at 3 something. So we're just hanging out in the airport, I guess, till further notice. I'm editing because I'm behind. John's editing pictures.
Yeah, look at that green screen shot right there.
Yeah, looks like we're in a green screen. Eating the rest of our black and white cookie.
Hey, it's still good.
And we'll be here for the next 3 hours, 4 hours. Give us the update, John.
All right, the update is we're stuck in an airport. We're stuck in Charlotte. Our flight was supposed to be at, what was it?
Like 10 a.m.
Like 10 a.m. It's now currently almost 3:30. We still have another 3 hours to go for the flight that we ended up settling on because the previous 3 flights that we were supposed to go on were either all delayed or blatantly canceled. So here's hoping to the 6 o'clock boarding time that we have. Hopefully it's coming up soon because good God, I don't know how long we can be in this airport any longer.
Yeah, we have some Chick-fil-A, we have a milkshake. This airport kind of is not great. No offense to the state of North Carolina.
It's alright, it's okay.
What time is it, John?
I don't know. It's almost midnight. No, it's not. It's almost 6. It's 5:30.
5:30. We're supposed to board in 30 minutes.
Oh, let's hope so.
Oh my goodness. Hi, party people. Guess who started that vlog in the airport and then never finished it? So, update, we made it home. Obviously, I'm back in our living room. So, sorry I haven't updated you guys. Also, ignore me. I'm just eating my salad as we have a little chit chat. Our flight ended up being so delayed. Basically, we had a flight at 8 a.m. from New York to North Carolina. And we got to North Carolina around 10 a.m. Then we were supposed to have a 40-minute layover fly from Charlotte to LAX. We found out right when we had woken up, we got up at like 5 a.m. that our flight was delayed about 4 hours, which was a bummer, but we were like, oh well, we'll just stick it out the 4 hours. Then our flight got delayed like again, and then it got delayed again, and it was saying that we weren't gonna leave until like 11:30 at night. So we started looking into other flight options because American Airlines had we had the app and it was giving us other flight options. And one of them was unfortunately another connecting flight, but it was to go from Charlotte to Chicago, then to LAX. We picked that one because it was gonna be the quickest option. It was gonna board in like an hour. And then that one was also already delayed, so then we were gonna miss the connecting flight and then we would just be stuck in Chicago. We ended up finding another flight that didn't leave until 6:40 p.m. It was like 2 o'clock at this point, but we would get to actually John Wayne, which was a lot easier. I hate LAX, so it just seemed like the best option. Luckily, that one did not get delayed. It stayed and we ended up flying out at 6:40, but we didn't get home until like 10 o'clock at night. So I thought I heard thunder. So I'm actually filming this on the day that we're supposed to get hit by a hurricane. So fun. It's supposed to be tonight/tomorrow. I thought I just heard thunder, and it's definitely breezy and kind of spooky out. Anyway, we ended up getting home around 10 o'clock, and it was just supposed to be a short travel day. We were supposed to be home at noon, just to put it into perspective. So it was a rough day, but we made it. That's all that matters. Since then, I dove straight into work, straight into overnights because it is the holiday season, believe it or not, at the Disneyland Resort. So we are already doing overnights and prepping for all things holidays. So it's been crazy since we've come back. Anyway, obviously we're back to the norm. I just thought it would be fun to kind of quickly recap the trip for you guys and just talk about my thoughts, things I recommend, all of that fun stuff. So we stayed in New York for 5 full days. I think it was a good amount of time. We honestly could have stayed longer. There's just so much to do. I felt like I had so many restaurants written down and food to try, and like we didn't even get to scratch the surface of that, but it was really fun. I'm literally looking forward to going back so much. Like, I was here for like 1 day and I was like, I can't wait to go back. I just like, I don't know, I don't want to be dramatic, but I just feel, I was telling John this yesterday, like my heart physically hurts when I think about about New York, and like I just want to go back. I just feel like it was just so fun, and I just wish that I could like see Greenwich Village every single day. It makes me so sad. I want to move there. I still want to move there. My stance is still true. I would move tomorrow if I could. Should have bought a one-way ticket. But what are some things that I enjoyed, you might ask? So all of it. I loved Greenwich Village. Truly has my heart, and I will never stop talking about it. I would move there in a heartbeat. Probably can't afford it, but I loved it there. I also loved like the Upper West, Upper East Side. You're by Central Park, which was another thing that I loved. I love Central Park. You're up by a park. It feels very like out of the city. You're still in Manhattan, but it was a lot calmer over there, and it was just beautiful. Truly, I loved it there. The food that we ate was great. The only thing that I thought like wasn't as good was anytime we ate at like a chain restaurant, which only happened like once or twice. Like we, you know, when we left the concert, we were really hungry and the only thing that was open was McDonald's by us. So like we ate McDonald's, although truly it tasted like some of the worst McDonald's I've ever had in my life. Like the chicken nuggets were like stale, but anyway, that doesn't matter. But yes, I loved all of that. It was all just so pretty. Like obviously it's a city, and so there's gonna be parts that are like gross, but in general it was really pretty. Any things that I didn't like, I did not like Midtown Manhattan, which is where we stayed. It's very close to like Times Square, which I figured I wasn't gonna like it. It's just like a Hollywood Boulevard is what it reminded me of, but like bigger and with more people in it. But you know, it does smell. It's a city. It is dirty. There's a lot of homeless people. It's just like, you know, any big city. It reminded me a lot of LA, like downtown LA to be specific. Although I will say that even when we were walking around at night, I like never felt unsafe, and I think it's just because there's so many people wandering around at all times. Literally, even at like, you know, we heard traffic going like throughout the entire night, which is another thing. If you're in the city, you will constantly be hearing traffic while you're sleeping, and you just got to get used to it. But there was constantly so many people walking around that I never really felt unsafe around anyone who was acting a little sketchy. Even like on the subway, I know that there's a lot of people who say that the subway is really unsafe and kind of sketchy. I never felt unsafe on the subway. I was definitely not as sketchy as I thought it would be. I was pleasantly surprised to find that it was air conditioned. When you enter the subway itself, it is super humid and hot and disgusting, but I mean, you're underground, so it makes sense. But the actual subways were really nice because they were air conditioned. Nobody like weird got on when I was in there, so I felt pretty safe. I will say, probably the worst experience I had was leaving the Jonas Brothers concert. Obviously, like going into it, we were looking at maybe taking an Uber or a cab because we didn't know how sketchy the subways would be. Pretty much everyone leaving the concert was taking a subway, so it was definitely not sketchy at all. It was a lot of, you know, Jonas Brothers fans that were taking the subway. Trying to get out and get into the subway was terrible. It was so hot and disgusting, and it smelled like BO from all of these concert goers. It was gross. It was like 0 out of 10, one of the worst experiences I've ever had in my life. We ended up leaving the subway and just kind of like walking around for a little bit, and then when we got back in, it was still a little crowded, but it wasn't as bad. And that was probably the worst subway ride. It was pretty long because we had to take it from Yankee Stadium all the way back to Midtown. We stayed very, very close to Penn Station. It was like right across the street, just to kind of give you some insight there. So it was a pretty long subway ride, and there's parts of it where like you're going underwater, so you're in the dark for a really long time. And that subway in particular, I don't know what happened, but the air wasn't working or something, and it was so jam-packed. It was just terrible. It was such a bad experience. But other than that, I thought the subway was fine. It was good. It wasn't as dirty as I thought it was gonna be either, like at least on the subway. So that's pretty good. I mean, it's still kind of gross. Like a lot of people are touching everything, but that's public transit for you. Let's talk about food we ate there. So we definitely tried a lot of things there. We tried a hot dog at Yankee Stadium. It was okay, but to me a hot dog is a hot dog. I know John really enjoyed it. We tried pizza from a couple places. We had some pizza by us. Again, we were in Midtown, so we had some pizza there. We ended up asking a person who worked in our hotel where some good pizza was, and he told us that he doesn't eat pizza there. He goes to Brooklyn. I get it. Like, I think if somebody asked me on Hollywood Boulevard where I eat, I would probably not tell them anywhere on Hollywood Boulevard. But we did have Joe's Pizza. It was pretty good. But then when we went to Brooklyn, we ended up eating at a place called Juliana's Pizza. Guys, that pizza was unlike anything I have ever eaten. It was so saucy and like sweet, and I've never really had like a sweet pizza like that. We also got spaghetti there, and the spaghetti was so good. Like, it was great. Another thing we tried that I really wanted to eat was a New York cheesecake, because I love cheesecake, and obviously I want a New York authentic cheesecake. We went to Eileen's and got like one of their little 6-inch personal cheesecakes, and it was very good. It's very different from cheesecake that I feel like we normally have here, at least in SoCal. It was very like creamy and thick and just so good. I want it again. The bagels, guys, I'm a changed woman. The first day we got I think it was called Liberty Bagels, and it was really close to our hotel. Most expensive bagel I've ever bought in my life. It was $17, and I ate it and it was good. I could tell it was a little different than our bagels here, but it wasn't great, so I was a little disappointed. Then we went to Tompkins Bagels, or Tompkins Square Bagels, which I had really wanted to go to. We ended up going twice because we liked it so much, and that was amazing. That was a game changer. It's super busy, so I would suggest trying to go pretty early in the day, but their bagels were amazing, and their cream cheese, When I tell you guys that every bagel shop I go to here, they're so like, they barely put any cream cheese on, and when I say like I like a lot of cream cheese, nobody gets it. They get it in New York. My favorite thing was that they had like cases where they displayed all of their cream cheeses, but it was literally like a mountain of cream cheese. Just my dream, truly. Their bagels were so good though. Their cream cheese was so good. They had so many good like bagel sandwiches. I literally, if I lived there, I would have it every single morning. And it was cheaper than the $17 bagel that was not as good near us. And then lastly, on the first day that we got there, we went to a place called La Colombe Coffee Roasters. I think that's what it's called. We do have it here in LA, so I mean, it's a bit of a drive for me if I wanted to go. But we just asked them what they thought was good, and they had a new like drip style coffee, or like a drip cold brew. I can't exactly remember, but we were just like, we'll take it. So good. Like, it was such a smooth, creamy coffee. And sometimes with cold brews, I'm a little like iffy, but that one was so good. It was like a little nutty. It was just great. So overall, really good food in New York. Oh, we also tried Los Tacos #1, which is like a pretty famous taco place there. Are their tacos as good as Southern California tacos? No. But is it pretty good for East Coast? I would say it's pretty good. We also got to see Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. I had wanted to see 2 Broadway shows, but just we were trying to do so much sightseeing that there was just not enough time for everything. But Harry Potter was amazing. It was mind-blowing. Just truly the way that they decorated the entire theater to match the theme, and like at intermission, I'm not gonna spoil the show, but at intermission, like something happens and they changed some of the decorations in the lobby to match what was going on in the show, so you came out and you felt like that was still happening even in the lobby. It was just amazing. The magic that they do blew my mind. I mean, some of it I can't figure it out, and like I don't know if I want to. I want to just leave it like as magic. They definitely did a lot of sleight of hand, and I think that's so cool. And I think even if I did know how they did it, I wouldn't be able to do it, so it's still magic to me, but so good. I know a lot of people who are diehard Harry Potter fans don't love the storyline, but I didn't mind it. And also, like, J.K. Rowling was involved in the writing of it, so if that's what she says happens in the story, then like that's what happens. But ultimately, guys, literally so fun. If I had any advice for people who were going to LA, I would just say truly, like, have a list of things you want to do, but like take it easy and don't be afraid of the subway. Take advantage of the subway. It's only $2.75 and you can take it wherever you want to go. Like, we did not use an Uber or a cab once, and I really think it saved us so much money because they can get really pricey there. Oh, actually, I lied. We did take an Uber. We took a Lyft back to the airport on the very last day, only because we were leaving at 5 a.m. and we didn't want to get on the subway because we were a little worried about the subway at 5 a.m. But that was the only exception. Everything is also so walkable and everything is so close. It's a big city, but it's all really close and it's all just a couple blocks away. But I will say you are going to be walking a lot. We were hitting like 20 to 30,000 steps every single day. It was funny because this is where I feel like working at Disney comes in handy, because it was like nothing for us to walk around that much. Like, sure, we were tired, but we could handle it. Whereas maybe like most people would get tired walking as much as we did, but we were really like walking all over the place. And we were powering through, and we were like, no, we're not gonna get a lift. We're just gonna keep walking because you might as well. But yeah, I mean, everything is within like a 20-minute walk. Super walkable, super fun. I have so much to say. I could literally go on and on about it. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments down below, and I'll try to answer any questions you guys have or make another video if you guys want. Hopefully we'll go back to New York soon. That's the dream. But thank you so much for watching, guys. Just kind of wanted to end this vlog, give a little trip recap, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.